The Rocky Report, brought to you by American Federal Savings Bank, First Interstate Bank, Montana Honda and Marine, Montana Tobacco Quit Line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW, and your local Ford stores. And now, from the campus of Rocky Mountain College, your host, Bruce Parker.
Hello and welcome to the Rocky Report. I'm Bruce Parker in the Fortin Education Center on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. Well, the football team had the week off, a chance to mend some ailments, and they are getting set to going back into Frontier Conference play this week against the Montana Tech Ore Diggers in Butte. We'll talk with Brian Armstrong about that contest. We'll also have highlights from soccer and volleyball. The volleyball squad continues to roll, ranked number 1 in the country. Lori Kelly will join us, and Coach Richard Duffy will be here to talk about soccer. That and much, much more up next on our Rocky Report.
My bank has been in Montana for over 90 years.
My bank is a real partner in my growing business.
My bank helped me make a great idea work.
My bank is American Federal.
My bank is American Federal.
Our bank is American Federal.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings.
This country wasn't discovered, it was built. One home, one neighborhood, one school at a time. The future, it has to be built too, out of concrete, out of drywall and 2x4s. At ProBuild, we believe there's a builder inside us all. We believe it's time we put him to work.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
Let's go to Dusk and Ask 'em with highlights from soccer and volleyball, the Battling Bears of Rocky Mountain College.
Welcome everyone to the Rocky Sports Report. The bad news, no Battling Bears football this weekend, but the good news, we have some great soccer action out at Wendy's Field. Rocky men's team hosting Great Falls Saturday afternoon. First half, Great Falls with the free kick here. The Rockies goalkeeper Sean Flynn jumps up and grabs it out of midair. Nice hops there, scoreless. Rocky on the attack now. Matthew Thomas over to Mason Luce, over to Zach Wall. Draws the goalkeeper out and bang! Dribbles it in. Nice goal here for the freshman. Rocky with the 1-0 lead. After a Great Falls goal, Jack Clancy crosses over to Thomas. Check out the ball handling skills. Goes off his chest, off his head, off his foot. Kicks it over the goal. Great Falls wins this one 2-1 in double overtime. The women, let's see if they were successful hosting Great Falls earlier on in the day. We'll pick it up in the second half. 1-0 Rocky. Gabby Heflin over to Mandy Acton, and she heads it just barely out of bounds, but Rocky keeps the 1-0 lead. Great Falls corner kick now. Lauren Ozdowski over the middle. Candace Lilyfield heads it in. The goal is called off, though. Someone was a little too close to the goalie, so Rocky keeps the 1-0 lead. Jalen Zigman here kicks it on goal. No luck, but Rocky wins this one 1-0. The top team in the nation has won 15 games in a row. Let's see if they can make it 16 against Montana Tech. Yan Yan right here. Montana Tech blocks it, but out of bounds. She smacks it hard. Here's Yan Yan again a few sets later. Tips it in this time. A little dink. Yan Yan right here. Bang! 16th kill of the game. A game high for her. Set point. Brianna Geck this time knocks it over for the Battling Bears. The Bears have not lost a set yet in conference play. They remain undefeated. Another week of fall sports in the books. Promise we'll have some football for you next week. For the Rocky Sports Report, I'm Dustin Askin.
And thanks to Dusk and Askham for the volleyball and soccer highlights. It sets us up for a big week of athletics. at Rocky Mountain College, joined now by head football coach Brian Armstrong. And Brian, geez, you were on vacation last week. You didn't have to play. You get some guys healthy. You maybe got a little fishing in. You ready to go?
Well, I hope so. We see how our guys come back from the weekend. We gave them a couple days off, 3-day weekend off, and so hopefully we can get some guys back. We were pretty banged up here after the last game, so hopefully we can get some guys back. We'll see them tomorrow morning and see what kind of condition they're in.
That's good. Let's talk a little bit about the health. And I mean, is it anything unusual this year? I mean, you've had a number of guys that are banged up a little bit, but is it kind of that time of the year, halfway through the season about?
Yeah, I think we've, I don't know, I guess if it's been fortunate or unfortunate, we've probably had more injuries for sure this year than we had a year ago. But at the same time, it hasn't necessarily been stuff that's going to keep guys out for seasons or anything, but it's, 2 or 3 games here and 2 or 3 games there, a couple concussions after last week, and so you never know how long those things are going to take. So hopefully we can get some guys back and get this thing going the right direction.
How about your assessment of the Frontier to date, almost to the halfway point? What surprised you? What's happened in this league that you'd like to, or you've noticed this year?
I think it's kind of what everybody expected. A lot of really good football teams. Some maybe not quite as good as we thought they would be, but still pretty darn good, and some maybe a little bit better. I mean, Eastern Oregon, I wouldn't say came from nowhere because they finished the season strong, winning 5 of their last 6 last year, but they really picked up right where they left off and have, been very successful thus far this season. But, shoot, any given Saturday in this league, anybody can beat anybody, and so a lot of parity, and you got to play well every Saturday to give yourself a chance to win.
And your football team, what do you have to do to improve on in the second half?
Well, I think getting healthy, number one. If we can keep our our guys on the field, that's going to be very important. But defensively, we got to create some 3-and-outs and create some field position. Offensively, we need to run the ball a little bit better than we have, or run the ball better than we have in the first half for sure. And that's kind of what we've worked on during the off week. And I think, that confidence is a crazy thing. You're playing well, and you don't know how you ever played bad, and you're not playing well. You wonder if you'll ever play well again, it seems like. So I think the confidence thing, and just, get back to work and go to Butte and try to get a win this week.
Montana Tech, you mentioned Butte. The Battling Bears will be on the road this weekend. We're going to take a break, and Coach Armstrong and I will come back and talk about that matchup with the Ore Diggers right after this.
Okay, so you're officially off the clock. You better have a truck that can keep up. Ford F-150. From tailgating and touchdowns to suiting up and stepping out. It goes the distance with EcoBoost power and fuel economy, with all the slick details to keep you in the lap of luxury. Maybe that's why an F-Series truck is sold nearly every 42 seconds. Hey, get back to it, weekend warriors.
Now during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get up to $10,986 total value on F-150. Only at your local Ford store.
It's hard to be in college and not be focused.
Being an athlete even helps you become more and more focused.
If I don't stay focused, I fall way behind on schoolwork.
A lot of homework on the bus and in hotel room.
This is one of the most formational times in your life, and so it's important to make healthy choices.
Because people who are tobacco free just do better in school.
I don't use tobacco. I feel like your body is your temple.
I don't think I'd be the person I am today if I had used tobacco products.
I'm focused on a tobacco-free generation.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings. Well, it's Ore Digger Week for the Battling Bears as Coach Armstrong and his squad will travel to Butte Alumni Coliseum. 1 o'clock kickoff in Butte for a matchup against a team, Brian, that's probably struggled a little bit, but they have a lot of potential.
They do. They've got a lot of, very good individuals. starting with their quarterback, who had missed 2 weeks ago with an injury, but I'm sure he'll be back. But the strength of their football team has been the defense, and Coach Morrell's a defensive guy, and they've got some talented individuals on that side of the ball. It seems like they've struggled to put it all together offensively, defensively, and special teams. And so we're expecting, coming off a bye week, them to be very prepared and energized and ready to give us a heck of a ball game. So
that's right. They had a bye as well,
Yeah.
so they had 2 weeks to prepare for you. When you look at their football team, they have a great stadium. They usually have a nice crowd on hand. But what would you say are the things that you worry about most when you play Montana Tech?
Again, defensively, they've been, very good since, going back to Bob Green's days. But, with Coach Morrell, he's a defensive guy. He's made his name defensively, and so they're built, around a defense. They've gone through some offensive coordinators, and they've got another new one this year. But, defensively for them is where it always starts. And so you got to do a good job offensively preparing for them and score some points and give yourself a chance to be successful.
And your football team, you've played very well at times this year. What are you expecting out of your team after a week off?
Well, hopefully they're going to come back excited and ready to go to work, and healthy again is the kind of the big.
We'll knock on wood on that.
Yeah. So if we can, we can get a couple guys back, and our offensive line's starting to come around, and we're going to get, I think, pretty sure, a defensive lineman that hasn't been in since the second week back. And so, we're going to get some guys back, hopefully, and week off, and a little bit of bad taste in their mouth. They're going to come back excited to go redeem themselves and go play their best game thus far this year in Butte.
That's great. Have fun in Butte.
Thank you.
It's always a great place. Head coach Brian Armstrong, the Battling Bears, and the Ore Diggers of Montana Tech, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Alumni Coliseum. As we go to break, we're going to come back with Coach Richard Duffy and talk a little bit of soccer for Rocky Mountain College. Stay with us.
This country wasn't discovered, it was built. One home, one neighborhood, one school at a time. The future, it has to be built too, out of concrete, out of drywall and 2x4s. At ProBuild, we believe there's a builder inside us all. We believe it's time we put him to work.
My bank has been in Montana for over 90 years.
My bank is a real partner in my growing business.
My bank helped me make a great idea work.
My bank is American Federal.
My bank is American Federal.
Our bank is American Federal.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings. And welcome back. We're going to talk a little soccer now with head coach Richard Duffy, who had some home matches last week, has some home matches coming up. And, well, it's got to be nice, Coach, to play on your field, on your pitch, and not have to get on a bus and travel.
Yeah, it's been kind of nice this year. Obviously, we did a lot of traveling earlier in the year, and now we're back home playing on Wendy's Field for a bit. So.
Let's talk about the matches you had this week. Conference matches with the University of Great Falls. Their women are much improved. Their men are 11-1 coming into this one. You knew they were both going to be tough.
Yep, both were tough games. The women playing Great Falls, like you said, is much improved from last year. I think they're much more athletic. Our girls played well, second half especially. First half we kind of struggled to create some opportunities, but second half we were able to pin them in their own half and scored. Gabby Heflin scored on a penalty kick. So.
That was nice. So the men, now they start off hot. They score pretty early, and you have that 1-0 lead, but you had to know Great Falls was going to come back.
Yeah, they're a very talented team. I think they're kind of junior, senior heavy on the Great Falls squad this year. The wind definitely played into the game yesterday. They scored from a free kick that just kind of looked over a goalkeeper's head and into the back of the net to tie it up. Pretty close to halftime, so it was kind of a momentum changer. and then kind of battled throughout, went to double overtime. They were able to sneak one at the end. So I thought our guys definitely played well enough yesterday.
So as you play these matches now, are they more for, I know pride's a factor, you want to win, especially when you're at home, but you're really playing for seeds in that NAI unaffiliated tournament?
Yep, obviously those games are conference games, so we're playing to try and win the regular season conference championship, which for the men, this is the first year we've had it now with Carl having the men's team, so we have 4 teams in there. But the reality is every game we're just trying to improve, so by November 6th for our playoffs, we're ready to go then.
And I guess it's modified RPI really determines who's going to be the top seeds.
Yep, 1 and 2 will get a bye in our tournament, and then 3 will play 6, 4 will play 5. So the RPI, the first RPI came out last week, and we're number 4 on the men's side, and number 2 on the women's side, which is good for the women.
So that means they'd get a first round bye, which is huge. Let's talk a little bit about this weekend. You have 3 matches at home, 2 with the women as they'll host a very good Westminster team ranked 18th in the country Saturday at Wendy's Field, and then Sunday both the men and the women will host Jamestown.
Yep, Westminster are obviously off to a great start for their season, nationally ranked I think for the first time. So they'll come in on Saturday. They were the team that beat us last year in the conference tournament, so be a very good game. It's always a tough physical battle. And then Jamestown comes in Sunday, who we played earlier in the year. Our men lost a close one to them, and then our women were able to play well. I think won 2-0 against them. So, but both those teams are good also, and it's always a battle against Jamestown.
Yeah. So as you get, Richard, into the last half of the season, what changes in your mindset with practice and getting ready for these games?
I think, in my opinion, that you spend the first part of the season working on how your team's going to play formation-wise. Once you get into the second part of the season, the kids kind of know what you're looking for and how they play. It's a matter of kind of keeping them healthy, keeping them fit, and then just keeping them enthusiastic about showing up to practice and looking forward to the game. So.
You've had some injury, not too bad. Let's knock on wood when we say that, but you look to get some of those guys back.
Yeah, I hope so. Eddie Cass, one of our center backs, who's probably been our most consistent player all season, he rolled an ankle, and on Thursday we're kind of training some wet conditions. But hopefully he'll be out maybe for a week or 2, and then we can get him back playing again, because he's definitely an important part, team captain, important part of our team.
That'd be nice to get him back. Hey, it's been fun to watch. Let's keep it going.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Head coach Richard Duffy, soccer, the women at 1 o'clock on Saturday at Wendy's Field, and then on Sunday, the women at noon, the men at 2 against Jamestown College. Don't miss those exciting soccer action here at Rocky Mountain College. We're going to take a break, but let's go to first our student athletes of the week and our plays of the week. And our student athletes of the week come from the sports of women's soccer and volleyball. On the soccer pitch, freshman forward Gabby Heflin had the game's biggest shot in leading the Battling Bears to a Frontier Conference victory over Great Falls. Heflin put home a penalty kick early in the second half, and that goal stood up as Rocky defeated the Lady Argos of Great Falls 1-0. The win keeps the Bears undefeated in Frontier Conference play. And on to volleyball, the nation's #1 team continues to roll, and one of the nation's top players continues to impress. Senior middle Young wins the honor for the 6th time this season after a stellar performance in the sweep over Carroll College. The 6-foot standout from China had 16 kills in the win and hit .500 for the match. Young continues to lead the nation in conference in blocks. Rocky moves to 18-2 overall and 7-0 in conference play. And speaking of Young, her dominance of Carroll College is our plays of the week this week. Watch Young at the net when she has these outstanding, devastating kills as the Battling Bears swept all 7 conference matches by scores of 3-0. Our student athletes and plays of the week.
Upgrade. It means your day just got better. That's the idea behind First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. With every purchase, you earn points you can use to upgrade just about any aspect of your life. Even better, rewards come from your world, your neighbors, your favorite local businesses. It's the difference between dining out and dining out in style, your style. First Rewards World MasterCard from First Interstate Bank. Your style, your rewards.
All right, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. And when it comes to trucks, stats don't lie. F-150 with EcoBoost has smash-mouth power with efficiency. And with best-in-class payload, boom, F-150 hauls in the Hail Mary. And here's a stat, pal. F-Series has been America's truck for 37 straight years. And that's a dynasty, baby.
Now during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get up to $10,986 total value on F-150. Only at your local Ford store.
As a student, as an athlete, it is so important to stay focused.
When I'm not on the field, I'm in the classroom. When I'm not in the classroom, I'm in the books.
So you have to focus and prioritize what's important.
The choices I make on a day-to-day basis are huge. Not using tobacco, it all benefits who I am and who I am as a basketball player.
When you step on the mat, it's only you and another person, and making healthy choices is the first step.
Without making those healthy choices, I can be held back in my performance and I can hurt my team.
It's very important how the community sees you. I'm focused on a tobacco-free generation.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings. Well, the first half of Frontier Conference action is wrapped up in women's volleyball. The Battling Bears still on top and undefeated in Frontier Conference play, joined now by head coach Lori Kelly. And Lori, a single match last week against Carroll College, which was seeded number 2 in the Frontier, but you handled them quite easily.
We did. We were quite prepared for them. I have a lot of respect for them. They have some big kids, and I thought we'd match up really well. And I thought with their blocking scheme, they could give us some difficulty. I was hoping they'd change to their blocking scheme they've been using with everybody else, but we were prepared for the fact that they would probably change their blocking scheme against Young and Anna.
Yeah, and a great crowd here in the Fortin Center. A lot of people came out, a lot of students, and I thought you played right from the get-go. You played well and got kind of jumped on them.
We did, like they matched us up 13-13 a couple times, and we're ahead a couple times. I don't know, but we do have another gear. Yeah. Sometimes it takes us a little bit. I think it's not that we're not warmed up, but our kids are very intelligent, and it takes them a little time to understand the other team and the blocking concept that we're doing. So they're really good about making adjustments and getting to know each hitter. And so by the time we get around with a couple rotations, they've kind of had them figured out.
So you've gone through the gamut so far. You've done first round of the Frontier Conference play. What have you learned about the league this year, and what's it going to take in the second half?
Well, the league is hungry. They didn't have a great preseason, and they've been beating up on each other a little bit. Going 5 games with each other. There's not a lot of sweeps with like Carroll, Westminster, Great Falls, and LC. So, it's just day in and day out with them of who is going to step up and win those games. Unfortunately, we haven't had trouble with any of them as of now. And for me, it's keeping these kids focused and better. They had a really hard week of practice last week, and I know they're looking at me like, really, Coach? Like, why are you doing this? And I'm just saying, people get better, and we have to continue to get better. So if we're as good as we were on September 6th, then we're not good enough because teams are going to get better. So I feel like we're getting better too.
Which is nice. Now, you play Idle this weekend, so you're still going to be 18-2. You're still going to be 7-0. How about this week? What do you do as far as practice and getting them ready with the week off? Yeah,
it is tough. I wish we did play, and I think they wish they would play as well because we like to play. We think even one game for the weekend, we're just like, but, the girls went to the soccer game, and they had this was a big game against Carroll. We really wanted to finish the conference 7-0 in this first round. So we put a lot of time into Carroll. So maybe they needed the break. I would play 4 games a weekend, every weekend if I could. But being in Montana and being in Billings, it's really hard. We don't have anybody to play. So.
And you seem to continue to feel great about this team.
I love this team. I really do. I feel like they're mature. They keep working hard. Not for one moment do they think they're good, and I keep them that way. I know there's always ways we can improve.
Well, enjoy the week off.
Thanks.
Get a little rest for
I'm
you,
recruiting.
too.
I am recruiting really hard because we have 8 seniors this year.
Yeah, that's good. Lori Kelly, head coach of the Battling Bear volleyball squad. We're going to go take a look at the standings in the Frontier Conference.
My bank has been in Montana for over 90 years.
My bank is a real partner in my growing business.
My bank helped me make a great idea work.
My bank is American Federal.
My bank is American Federal.
Our bank is American Federal.
This country wasn't discovered, it was built. One home, one neighborhood, one school at a time. The future, it has to be built too. Out of concrete, out of drywall and 2x4s. At ProBuild, we believe there's a builder inside us all. We believe it's time we put him to work.
You live for life's finest moments, like seeing nature firsthand, teaching something old to someone new, experiencing the thrill in their face, and doing it again and again. Join us on the water in the very best boat for these moments. Tracker boats, built for life.
Montana Honda and Marine in Billings.
I maintain my focus just by working my hardest in absolutely everything I do.
In the classroom, on the court, at practice, wherever you're at.
My classes are very rigorous.
At the same time, you need to be able to stay focused and make the right choices and stay on top of things.
Tobacco use would definitely be a negative effect on a student athlete.
Using tobacco really decreases the performance of any athlete.
I wouldn't be able to dance, I wouldn't be able to hang out with my friends, I wouldn't be able to hike the M. I think that it would make me less of a focused student.
Distract me from my sport and distract me from my academics.
I'm focused on a tobacco-free generation.
Well, football on the road this week in Alumni Coliseum to battle the Ore Diggers of Montana Tech. That game will kick off at 1 o'clock in Butte. Should be a lot of fun, a lot of green on the field for that one. The volleyball team is off this week. The soccer teams have a big weekend as the women will play Westminster on Saturday at 1 o'clock at Wendy's Field. And then the men and the women, 12-2 against Jamestown at Wendy's Field right here on the campus of Rocky Mountain College. The golfers are on the road in Great Falls. The cross-country team is all the way down to Lawrence, Kansas for the NAI preview meet. So a lot of student athletes participating this week for Rocky Mountain College. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Brian Armstrong, Lori Kelly, and Richard Duffy. I'm Bruce Parker. We'll see you next week on the Rocky Report.